Hi YouTube. I don't want to seem like a copycat at all. I've been planning on doing this video for quite some time, but with having a preemie who's on a very strict schedule and then um, having to take care of everything around here, I just haven't had time to really sit down and do this video because it's going to be a very long video. Um, Hopefully in more than two parts, but it is going to be a long video. Um, I want to do a video on my or our uh, fertility or infertility story, um, our journey here. It's been long, very, very long. I'm sorry, I'm rocking him while he's eating. And been a lot of downs, um, a few ups, most of them recently, but a lot of downs. We got married in October of 2006, and we had talked about it while we were engaged that we might start trying for a baby as soon as we got married, but we were both working, and um, I had lost my job, a really good job, uh, earlier that year with the ATF here in our home city, and uh, it cut our income in almost in half. And um, I had found another job, and I had when we just before we got married, like literally 2 weeks before we got married, I found out that that job was ending because I was working in a call center for Verizon DSL, and um, it they decided the company Verizon decided they didn't need that call center anymore, so everybody who worked there had to relocate to another call center with Verizon, which the closest one was 3 hours away, and there's just no way we could afford to move. Um, so we ended up, I ended up getting laid off just before Christmas in '06, and um, I found another temp job the that started New Year's Day. Uh, but while I was working there, we decided that we were going to go ahead and not try, but we weren't going to prevent. So I went off my birth control, and the first month nothing happened. We weren't disappointed. Um, we just we knew it might take some time. The next month, I got a severe stomach flu. I threw up for 12 hours straight, and I'm talking like every 5 minutes I was throwing up. I was very dehydrated and all that, and um, at some point during all that, I realized that I hadn't had my period and yet, and I was on cycle day 35 from the time I had my period. And I had taken a test a few days before that, but it had been negative. So I took that month up to a loss and had gone about my business, and um, but I had another test. I had bought a 2 pack, and I went in that morning after I'd stopped throwing up for about an hour and took the test, and it was a very faint line, but there was a line there, and I thought I was seeing things because I had been throwing up for so long. So I took it out to my husband, and he said, there's a line there. What does that mean?" And I said, "That means it's positive. It's we're pregnant." And we got really excited, and um, we had told everybody. The next weekend was Mother's Day, so we told everybody at this barbecue we had over at my grandmother's house, and everybody was so excited. We were having a baby, and Um, uh, and then a few weeks later, I had noticed that my symptoms had kind of gone. I got it for like a week, like the nausea, um, breast tenderness and stuff. That all of that had disappeared after like a week. And I went in for my first prenatal visit on um, June 4th, and I was, I think, just 8 weeks then, and um, either 8 weeks or 9 weeks. I think it was 8 weeks. And I told her that I had stopped, all the symptoms had just stopped. I didn't feel pregnant anymore. And she said, "Oh, that's normal. Sometimes that'll happen. With some pregnancies, everybody's different, and the sensitivity kind of comes and goes." And I said okay, but I didn't really. I had a feeling something was wrong, and I couldn't shake that feeling. She sent us in for an ultrasound 2 days later because I couldn't give her a definitive timeline on my period because it was really irregular. It was irregular after going off the pill. So she wanted to make sure that we were on track with how far along we thought I was. And um, we went in that morning, or that afternoon actually. It was an afternoon appointment. And um, all morning long I'd had a sinking feeling something was wrong. And we went in there, and uh, the technician was looking around, and that you could see the baby. It was very, very small. She kept measuring it over and over and over again, and she kept looking for a heartbeat. She, and uh, she says, "I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get the doctor to help, just go over this." And before she left, and she wrote on the screen, "No heartbeat." Um, I just, my heart sunk, and I tried to stay hopeful that maybe we were just farther off than I anticipated, but I didn't think we were that far off. But uh, doctor came in, she examined me, checked my cervix and whatnot, and she went over what the ultrasound technician had told her, and that I was measuring 3 weeks behind, and uh, the baby didn't have a heartbeat, and I was measuring 6 weeks when I should have been almost 9. And so she sent me in for a D&C the next day, and uh, that was horrible. Most horrible thing I've ever gone through. And, well, up until that point, it had been the most horrible thing I'd ever gone through. And um, came home, I just felt so empty. And what was worse is that we had to go home that night and tell everybody what had happened because everybody knew I was going in for an ultrasound, and um, um, and tell everybody what had happened, and nobody really understood what I meant, and I had to explain it over and over and over again. And so we went in the next day, had the D&C, and was told that after a while we could try again. We wanted to wait a few months, and we started trying again. You know, this time we were really trying. We had a taste of what we wanted, and we wanted it really bad. So we started trying again, and I noticed after the D&C had had some major spotting in between my periods. My periods were no longer regular. They were like all over the place, and I was having this bleeding in between periods, and I was getting really concerned. And it took me. I had the D&C in June. It took me April of '08 before I got my doctor to take me seriously that something was wrong, and she did a saline ultrasound, and I'm gonna have to continue this in a second video. I'll be back.